My name is Glenn Bratcher. I'm a retired Marine Corps colonel. I'm from a large family, 13 children in my family. I'm the youngest one. I was born in Oklahoma, but I grew up on a cotton farm in Lubbock, Texas, and eastern New Mexico when I was old enough to start school. I had 4 brothers in World War II, 2 in the Navy and 2 in the Army. The 2 in the Army served in Germany. The Navy brothers were in the Pacific. One of them was at Iwo Jima. And I was born in 1935, so when Pearl Harbor happened, I was only 6 years old. And looking back, I can't believe that I can remember things as a 6-year-old. I can remember them like I must have been a teenager or even older when they happened. But my first brother that joined the Army went in for a year's training about 1940. And we didn't see him for 4 years later after he came back from Germany. And so, and then another brother joined the Army. Pearl Harbor came along. I had 2 brothers join the Navy. They were in the Seabees. One of them, I think I mentioned, was at Iwo Jima. And then when President Roosevelt died, and Vice President Truman took over as president, I was, what, 8, 9 years old, and I can remember the meeting that we had in the auditorium in school. And a couple of times my parents would get letters from all 4 brothers on the same day. They would be happy, and then they'd say, yeah, well, look at the post date on it. It's like 2 weeks ago. Anything could have happened during the last 2 weeks. But thank God they were, came back. One was a medic with the Army in Germany, and the other one was with an artillery unit in Germany. And I'm very thankful and proud of my brothers for having, they didn't even get to finish high school. But here they are in the military. And I look back on those days, and it must have been totally different than in my situation, where I got to be an officer. And it was just a different life, I'm sure. And I think of those days a lot, and I'm proud of my 4 brothers in World War II. Well, on the farm, we had German POWs come and work on the farm. So we were always aware of Germans and what was going on in Europe and Adolf Hitler. This was eastern New Mexico, and there was a German POW camp nearby. And being on the farm, the worst thing that could happen is to hear that 2 or 3 of them had escaped, and you'd never know if they were going to be on your farm or knocking on your door or wanting some food or whatever. But they were usually captured pretty soon. And I noticed that the Germans would look at our tractors and farm equipment, and I noticed sometimes they would be drawing sketches of this equipment. I have no idea what they could or would or did do with those, but they seemed to be interested in that. I never was allowed to have any conversation with them or anything, But being a young boy, I studied it and observed and wanted to know what was going on, and I was always aware that I had 4 brothers in the military. But the security would have been the active duty Army personnel, and of course 2 or 3 of them would bring the Germans to the farm for security reasons. And with the Army there and the fact that they had a weapon and was overlooking the duties that the POWs were charged with doing, I never really did feel threatened or insecure or anything like that. It seemed to be sort of a modus operandi of the day, just a standard day. And it seemed that everybody had someone in the military. So it wasn't that just my family was being picked on or anything like that. It did put me on a tractor a little earlier, because when they left, that's what they were doing, was working on the farm. So I can remember at an early age riding a horse or doing farm duties that like milking the cows or feeding the pigs, stuff like that my brothers had done before. And I was the youngest of the family, so, and I always tell people this, that if you're the baby of the family, you never have to grow up.